I say anything racist this time?
You better get out of here, honky.
Now for something completely different.
Well, two honks and Kim just messing around. You'll never know what they talk about on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. You might hear something about the NBA. Maybe they'll just make your day on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. It's sports and life and family too. Let's all listen to two honks and a Kevin. Yeehaw! Just crap my pants.
All right, it is March 2nd, 2022. You'd think we'd be better at this by now. What's up, Blake? Speaking for myself. No offense to anybody.
If anybody comes for improvements, they came to the wrong place. You still can't see Kevin. Kevin can't even give us a light.
Got another volleyball night.
You chilling in the car?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah. It's all good,
the
man.
Sacrifices you have to make for this, you know?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Tonight was parent and touch night. So parent teacher conference or whatever it is. So
Parent touch night.
I was like, whoa. Hey, I was like,
parent and
whoa.
touch or
I don't know
whatever
which way he's
Pit
going.
Day? What is it? PIT? That's what it was. That what it stands for? Parents in touch. Is that
What
is
are you
that what that stands
talking
for?
about? Is that an actual day at school now?
Well, it's always been a day. It's like when your parents go talk to the teachers.
PT,
Oh, so
Parent
okay, so
teacher
like
night.
parent, yeah. But
Yeah.
you're calling it parent and touch night now?
Yeah, it's like PIT is what it is, like the acronym or whatever. Yeah.
Have you heard this, Kevin?
Hey, I'm just dying because hold on. This is how this conversation, this is how most conversations happen between you guys, where I play the middle and I'm like understanding, I'm really making fun of you, both of you guys at the same time. So Richard says parent touch night, so I immediately get my mind in the gutter. I'm like, whoa, you called it? Why are you on the podcast with us?
I mean, look, every night's parent touch night, but
yeah. And then Blake's sitting there asking questions about public school. You ain't been in a public school game in a minute, bro.
Yeah, I know. Well, when he first said it, I just thought because I know Richard's not the most social person, so I know these type of things kind of make him uncomfortable. So I thought that's what he was making fun of it's a bunch of people touching each other and shaking hands and
no, this is virtual. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, these.
It's virtual.
So it's even virtual.
We're never going to talk to humans ever again.
So
this is it, guys. Everything's virtual.
May I ask why it's virtual?
Why not? I mean, why would I want to go to
everything's virtual now, though, dude?
I mean, why? I could just open up my laptop and be like, "Hey, how's my kid doing?"
Right,
and
that's true.
then we have a conversation, and then that's it.
Yeah, but you still gotta have that.
I don't have to.
You don't want to. You don't want that. You don't want that human interaction though, and kind of see in the classroom, seeing how the teacher behaves, talks to other people.
I think the teachers are more responsive now, to be honest with you, Blake.
The more
any of that, dude.
I think that they're more responsive the way that things are now, because now they don't have to hurt your feelings. They can send you a direct message or whatever.
Yeah. Richard's like, I don't even want a wife and kids. I don't want anybody here. Why? Yeah. You think I want to meet the person that's teaching my kid? You crazy?
I did meet her. I met him over Teams or Zoom or whatever they use nowadays.
Yeah. I mean, I get your point though. No, I don't want to use a whole evening to get my kids, go meet the teacher, play Mr. Nice Guy in front of them, and ask a few questions, and then go home and do your life. So I do understand the simplicity of it.
It's a 30-minute experience if you just do a virtual. That's it.
Yeah, dude. And listen, that kind of trumps it all, man. I mean, it does. I still think there's, I still like the, of course, I'm a different person.
I mean, we met the teacher on the first day. We went in and initially did the handshake and how you doing.
So you've done all that before,
Dad.
right?
Yeah, we've done that, but
Is this
So
just like a checkup, just like a check-in, like, hey, how's my kid doing? What's he
yeah, you do
struggling
it twice
in?
a year. You do it once in the fall, once in closer to the spring, winter time, and just basically just make sure your kid's doing what they're supposed to do in class. And if your teacher has any kind of like concerns she wants to bring to the table, or
Okay.
if you have
So
concerns,
so is it just you and the teacher, or is it other parents as well?
it's just us and the teacher. It's
Oh,
like
that's not
a
okay.
one-on-one.
I was
You,
thinking it
you
was like
just get a block of time, basically, right?
Yeah, you get 15 minutes basically to
There
talk
you
to
go.
your teacher. But I mean,
That's cool though. I mean, I would that'd make me feel comfortable as a parent. I need to do that with my wife. I'm like, hey, how are my kids doing? Are they-
I'll Zoom you at lunch.
I need to do that with my wife in general. How am I doing? We need
yeah,
to up my
yeah.
game.
Yeah. Do I even need to pull the punch card back out, or am I still not even on the board?
Well, I'm just doing our yearly volunteer survey on myself, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of what we need as men. Like, am I helping out enough, or am I just being annoying?
Right.
What would you rate me as being funny? Am I a 5 or am I a 1?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
do
done,
you
Kevin.
yeah, the first question every year, do you still like me?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't even worry about love anymore. Do you just like me?
That's
Yeah,
right.
we okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Are you okay living in this house with me? That's really all I
Do
care
you
about.
love me or are you in love with me? Which one? Where are we going here?
Right.
and on the top you got an anonymous survey. Don't put your name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it would be funny if we had a questionnaire about us, and we had our wives answer it, and then
Yeah.
but nobody left. Like, maybe it's just yes or no questions or something. I don't know. And then we try to figure out which wife wrote what, and see if they're, you know what I'm saying, like seeing if you think the one is about you or not.
I think we
Yeah.
should do
Yeah,
this.
I mean,
I think
yeah,
that we should do this for the next show. Come up with
Yeah.
questions. I'm being for real. Let's
Okay.
do this for the next show.
So all of our wives would fill it out, and
Yes.
then we would
It
read
has
on
to be the
air.
same questions. Yeah, it has to be the same
We
question.
got to actually follow through on this. Okay, so everyone gets the same
This
questions. and
sounds
then-
awesome.
Let me see if I can find something here. They're all like stupid ass. Like get to know your partner.
Yeah,
Wife's chart. That's stupid.
Yeah,
We'll
probably
find
have-
something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
We'll find something. We'll agree on it. Then we'll give it to our wives, and we can have them send it to an email. Send it to Jared, right? And then Jared comes
Jared will
up
make
with,
a TikTok
I'm being for
video
real.
out of it.
Yeah. Well, we'll send it. Have them send it to Jared, and then Jared reads off who answered.
Yeah, we'll come up with something. That might be a
awesome.
fun little
Yeah.
segment or something. Rich, I don't know if you want to talk about it on air. If you don't, that's fine. But you said you kind of been in the dumps lately. Is it anything in particular, or just life itself?
Yeah, I just think it's life in general. Just didn't really feel like talking about much really, and kind of I'm kind of a mean person in general. So you can only imagine if I'm in a bad mood. So I just am like, I don't think I'll engage right now because I just didn't want to. I don't know. You know how it is. Like sometimes you're in a mood and you don't want to accidentally take it on anybody else. I mean, it's really hard also to like gauge someone else over text.
That is
You know
true.
what I mean? Like sometimes we'll say things to each other like joking, but it kind of comes off as different. So yeah, it was just more along the lines of that, where it's just like, man, I just didn't really feel like talking about world stuff right now. So
No, I understand. Does what going on affect you? Like the war since you served and everything? Does it kind of hit you differently, you feel?
I think it bums me out a lot. Like I'm not one of those I'm gonna go over there and set things right people. Like that's stupid.
Yeah.
Like if you think you're gonna go over there and make a difference, you're not. Like I mean, as a group, yeah. I mean, as a collective, yes. But if you're going over there thinking you're gonna be G.I. Joe, you're just not gonna. But,
That's the one thing that I was. First of all, it's so fascinating to literally have access to war right now with video. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the first time we've gone through something like this where social media is I was gonna say is leaking stuff, but there's also a lot of fake videos out there.
yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah,
So
there's videos from video games they're using.
Yeah. So or movies, and so what's been hitting me this week is like, watch how this plays out. Like this is the new topic to talk about. And there's probably going to be so many story and headlines that come out of this. And it's all going to be through, so much of it's going to be through social media. I just think this is just going to be another COVID thing, where it's just like, this is everything we talk about now. And, this is what we have to worry about and who's going to go fight for who. And, what should we do as Americans, or what should we do, in Ukraine or whatever. But the other thing I was going to say too, is that I find it really funny that like some of these like boxers, the Clincho brothers, I think is what they are. I don't know if you've seen that, but like they have gone to the homeland to serve and to defend.
Okay,
Yeah, which I commend them, and that is totally awesome. But I'm also like, okay, cool, you're a boxer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it's, if you got to fight somebody, sure, that's great. But it's like, are you a trained military and, servant that is, in the right mind to it is now, because I just made it up. Barry Meridian, what's up?
Right.
You get what I'm saying though? Like, I just find it funny that it's like they're all going to fight, but it's like, are they trained to like go to war? You know what I'm saying?
I think some of it too is like a lot of it is I mean, not everybody in the army is a soldier,
Okay.
I mean, you have your infantry unit, your tank units, your jumpers, but then you have your financial people, you have your priests, you have your medical people. Like, just because they're going over
I
there to
got you.
quote unquote fight doesn't necessarily. I mean, they probably are. I don't know what they're doing, but it could also be a form of positive.
They're helping out any way, shape, or form. It's not necessarily putting on armor and giving somebody a machine gun and saying get on the front line.
Yeah, I highly doubt that they're doing that.
Yeah, I got
Not
you.
to say they're not. I mean, and who knows what those guys went through? Maybe they know, and because there are countries that do, it's law that you have to serve a year or two in the military.
Yeah.
I think I think it's South Korea is one of them. Where was Pacquiao from? Because I think he had to serve too.
I thought he was from
He's from the Philippines, isn't he?
Philippines, yes.
Yeah, yeah. As I say, it's countries like that. Because I know, like, this is kind of goofy, but you guys know the band BTS.
Yeah.
Real popular amongst the young kids.
Yeah, so they South Korea actually changed some of their laws a little bit so they wouldn't have to go, but I think they're all still having to go eventually. So, like,
Really?
regardless of your status, you have to serve, I think, a year or two in the military. So I don't know if Ukraine has something like that. I don't think so, but I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting to see. But I think on the flip side of that, it's interesting to see that pretty much everyone's coming around to being like, Putin's kind of a dick. And even China's like backing off a little bit. Like, I'm slowly starting to see stories more and more come out every day of China going, look, we're not helping them. Like, we're not doing it. So don't think that we are.
So really no one agrees with this. And this is simply just a dickhead move on Putin.
Yeah, I mean, I think I want to say it's Chechnya. I think might be, or is it Bulgaria? I don't know. It's some other weird country that's helping them too. That's helping Russia. But it turns out like whoever's in charge there was put there by Putin. So, and that's the only other country that's helping them. So yeah,
I also heard, and once again, like I just kind of mentioned, how there's so many headlines that come out of this, this war, that now this is going to be everything that people talk about. But I saw somebody was talking about how there's talks of Putin being sick.
Oh, really?
And deadly, and and this is kind of his way of going out, I guess, and maybe I guess he's like very, very scared of COVID as well, like to where he, like when he has meetings, it's like he's in one side of the room and everyone else is on the other. Like, I guess he's real like over the top, when it comes to that. So I just had heard, someone talking about it, but so I didn't know if that was something else that other people were talking about him potentially being sick.
Yeah, I don't know. I know he's up there in age. Let me see how old he is.
I
And
think he's like six.
he's
I think he's only like
60s, right?
60 something, like 68.
69. Yeah, he'll be
69.
70 this year.
How old's Biden? 144.
He's
No, like
79.
almost 80. Yeah.
79.
Wow. So they're about 10 years apart then, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
Did you listen to the speech at all yesterday?
I caught
I
some
listened to the
highlights.
speech.
Oh yeah, Kevin was watching.
He came in. He came in like, I think it was like, it almost felt like a pep rally, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, all of
Little
those
bit.
are right. I think. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think. There, it's always like a pep rally to me, and I feel like he made people feel better about what he's doing. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's what everybody does.
Yeah, I mean I try to listen to a little bit of it, but it just became so yada yada yada, you know. But
Yeah,
I
and I
also
ended up finishing it.
I just didn't know what to take from it. Like, okay, what are we doing? Like, are we going to go fight, or are we staying back? Or are you just letting us know, hey, we're going to be okay? You know, there's going to be no nuclear warfare here.
Yeah, he's front out said we're not going to put boots on the ground. He's been, that stance has been very firm since day one.
Basically,
he's not
basically
engaging.
he's saying if you mess with the stuff on the western border, we're getting involved. All our people that we protect, we're gonna protect our native allies, basically, right? I actually, so the surprising part, Blake, was that was the first thing that he talked about. Like, I thought it was gonna lead into that, like that was gonna be the ending, but he came out just fiery, just talking about this
Yeah.
potential war stuff, right? And he
Right.
also was saying that he wanted to wean Russia from any, U.S. dealings, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, it's still just so, terrifying and sad. I mean, is it, I hate to say that it's all bad, obviously, but is it as bad as most wars? Or I mean, for them to be releasing so many like fake videos, or like you said, videos of video games and making it look like it's real? I mean, that's where I'm like, how, is this a big thing that's happening, or has it just been a few bombings, which is obviously bad in itself?
So I think there have been, a lot of civilian casualties. And I know I've read that they're starting to target more civilian areas. So like hospitals, I think, and I think they also targeted a school. So I think it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad in terms of what he's doing, especially if you look at, I think it was the 70s when the Ukraine gave up their nuclear weapons to Russia with the promise that they'd never be invaded. So
they're breaking this. So he's breaking this promise, basically.
Basically, he's breaking the promise. And I've read stories that there are Russian soldiers over there that didn't even know that this is what they were doing. Like, they thought they were over there to like some sort of a peacekeeping mission or something along those lines. And that's why
they were lied to.
That's why there's so many of them just basically surrendering. Because there's a lot of stories
I've seen it.
that they're surrendering. The goofy thing too is like a lot of them are running out of gas. Like, what?
Oh, really?
How are you running out of gas?
I mean, so is it true that they don't have? Because like that's the, everybody, just whoever, just people just talking, like guys in the office or wherever. It's just like, well, they don't want to mess with us. They don't have the weapons that we have, and yada yada yada. I'm just like, I just have a hard time believing that, because I'm like, hey, these guys can get access to stuff just like we can. I would assume so. Is that not the case? Are we that much superior or no?
I think it's coming out. We probably are. There's been a lot of recordings of a lot of their tanks and their equipment being like old as dirt.
Really?
And that while they may have a lot, like, it's garbage.
Well, Richard, aren't they aligned with China, right?
Yeah, I mean they're in the same circles. Yeah, but I mean
So
China's not.
they don't share, information and technologies and stuff like that. Like that would be the thing that I worry about. Like I don't think that they're that far behind. Maybe it's a money thing, you know.
So
I would think that they had the same accessibility as us as far as technology.
you would think so, but I think that the way that that country is ran, all the money goes towards the rich. Which I mean, look, it's the same way here, right? But I think it's even greater over there
Right.
Yeah.
than it is here. And I mean, like I think we brought up last week, like we don't really truly know how much of what they say is grandstanding and what they have is legit.
Right.
Regardless of what happens, like we don't want to go get into an all-out war with them. That would be,
No.
you know.
Yeah.
But if you were to talk like NATO versus them, it's like we're quadruple in terms of troops and all that stuff.
But just Russia versus US, they have more numbers, right?
I don't know about the numbers per se, but I don't. It's hard to tell because I think they have like 200,000, and I think we're pretty equal on most things. Because the only thing I've really looked at lately is like how many nuclear warheads each country has. I'm like, okay, it's that bad.
Now, I was actually thinking about this the other day. Like, everyone talks about nuclear warfare or whatever. Like, I don't even know if I really comprehend exactly what that is. Are we just talking about massive missiles, bombs that can destroy a big area? Is that what a nuclear weapon is?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
like how big? I mean, I guess that's my question. Is like we talking a neighborhood with one strike? Or are we talking a whole city with one strike?
Whole city. If they were to drop it in Minneapolis, you'd be before 65 and inside would be done.
Right.
Damn.
A whole. Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So just imagine what would happen if it was here. You know what I'm saying, Blake?
Yeah, exactly. Or if they just on one, but so I guess I don't understand how do they shoot this this nuclear weapon? How, you know what I'm saying? Do they have to get a specific distance? Like how? I think that's the stuff that I've never asked questions to, I guess.
Yeah, I mean they have the missile silos and I think each one basically is predetermined where it's going to go. So
and they work off satellites, and this is kind of why Russia doesn't want Ukraine to have to be a NATO ally, is because they don't want people that close, right, Richard? From my understanding.
Yeah, they're Putin's concerned. He says he's concerned that if they were to be NATO, then we would put military bases in there. But I think one of the things we came to with the table with them was like, if they were NATO, like we won't do that. Like that's one of the things that we were willing to sign to and agree to and say that we weren't. A lot of people think that that Putin just wants to try to recreate the USSR, and that's really what this is all about, and everything else is just words.
Right.
So I'm looking up comparison of USA and Russia here. Let me see what we have here. I think I got some numbers. I
think we just need to play a dodgeball game against each other.
Okay.
That'd be tight.
So population in Russia is 146 million. This is from armedforces.eu. So that's I don't know how reliable this is, but this is what they're saying. So this is what we're going to do. Population 330 million versus 146 million. Our military budget is 700.
Oh my God. I don't want to know. Don't depress me, bro. Don't depress
me. $738 billion.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Dude, just think about that.
Versus their $61.7 billion.
For how long? Don't tell me this is like a year.
I think this is a year, dude.
No
I think
way.
that would be a year. That's
Percent of
legit, Blake.
GDP though is like
Oh my
it's less
God.
of our GDP, 3.4 versus 4.3. So
Wouldn't you love to see the breakdown of where all of that goes to?
yeah,
I
active
mean, that's
personnel
our
is
tax dollars, right? That's our tax dollars, right?
100%.
Mhm.
Active personnel is 1.3 million, and they have 1.1 million. But we have 800 reserves, and they have 800,000 reserves,
Mhm.
and they have 2 million reserves.
Dang.
If needed for a draft, we have an extra 73 million people.
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
They have 34 million people.
Wow.
Okay. Here's the nitty gritty. For tanks, we have 6,000. They have 12. Well, I'm rounding. So 6,000 to 12,000. We have 6. They have 12.
Oh wow, they have more tanks than us, huh?
Yeah. Who's to know how? Yeah. Armored fighting.
They're like Hummers with a gun on top of it.
Yeah. Armored fighting vehicles is 41 million. I'm sorry, 41,000 for us and 26,000 for them.
Huh.
Total artillery is 4,000 for us, 18,000 for them. Self-propelled artillery, 1,500 for us, 6,000 for them. Rocket artillery, 1,300 for us, 4,300 for them.
That's wild, man.
That's their land forces. Air Force. Here we go. Total aircraft for us is 13,000. They have 5. Fighter aircraft. We have 460. They have 800. Attacked aircraft. We have 560. They have 880. Helicopters. We have 4,700. They have 1,700. Combat drones. We have
Damn.
330, and they have 30.
Drones is. I mean, before long, we don't even need soldiers. We just need some drones.
You see some
I'll
gamers.
take care of all of it. I mean, dude.
I saw pure battle shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be easy. Like, are you sure? I'll just release these 5 things on you.
Right. Navy, we have 460 versus 660 Navy ships. We have 20 aircraft carriers. They have 1. We have 94 destroyers. They have 18. I don't know what a frigate is, but we have 0 of those, and they have 11. I wonder if that's their version of a destroyer. Something called a corvette. We have 22. They have 83. Submarine. We have 69. They have 59.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Who has
I
the
don't know.
Death Star?
I mean,
I don't know if you can even like answer this, Richard. But what's the mind? Like, if you're an American soldier right now, and you're in some, whatever branch you're in of the military, what's your mindset right now? Are you waiting? Are you wanting to get that call to be like, all right, here we go, it's game time? Or are you scared to death?
I'll tell you, I'm not scared. A lot of conversations I had, and because this was like always like a topic of conversation in the Army of like, do you want to go? And the best answer I was ever given was like, if you studied for 6 years to be a doctor, wouldn't you want to go be a doctor? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I guess. I mean,
Right. That's kind of how. Yeah.
I definitely, I don't think I'd be scared per se.
Yeah, being a doctor doesn't mean you can potentially die.
Yeah.
This is like training 6 years to go get in a bloodbath with somebody,
Dude,
potentially.
People, I'll tell you, man, people in the military, they're different.
Yeah.
It's almost like being an MMA fighter, right? Like,
Dude,
it takes that.
they are. I will tell you, like, we would hold nightly fight nights in the bathroom, squad versus squad, just
dude,
for fun.
Just
for
wired
fun.
differently.
Yeah, just like we just want to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
And then we started inviting other units. Like, hey,
and then it'd be isn't it funny though that like that's just how it becomes. Like it almost probably becomes a tribal thing as well. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys had group fights or whatever, but
That's
it's
exactly what it
weird that
was.
really, it's
Yeah,
so
it'd be like
weird
5
that
versus 5. Like we pick our 5, they pick their 5. We go in the back where the bathroom is and just throw down.
and you would do it too,
Yeah.
dude. See, I have like, I mean, I don't even. I think I've told you guys. I've really never even fought. I've did some, boxing with some friends in the front yard or whatever, but that's really about it. So I can't even imagine. But is it cordial? Is it like friendship afterwards, or is it like
Yeah, it's cool afterward, dude. Like it's like
it's just
yeah.
guys? We are so stupid. Guys are so
Yes,
weird.
yes.
Straight dumb.
I remember one Sunday, like we literally just lined up fights. Like for all 50 of us had to fight somebody else, and like we lined up fights, and the whole day it was just fights. Big
That's
circle in the
crazy.
middle.
Wow.
There's a big circle in the middle. Stay in the circle and fight, and that's it. That was the entire day on the Sunday. Now that was our day off.
But that is so like ingrained in us. Like that's history. It's what we've
Yeah.
done. The gladiators, they fought. Like it's like this. I just, I was about to say, like, where does that come from? Like, why do we have such a desire? It's like men, they like to be physical, fight. They are obsessed with sex. Like they like that.
Right,
They
right.
like that. They like, dominance. I don't know if it's dominance is the word, but I don't know. It's just weird how we're all so wired differently, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just there were people there that there were the people there that you could tell didn't really belong because you're like you're soft, like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
You're here because you got talked into this, and you're probably trying
yeah,
to be tough.
or
Yeah.
something, or you need the money. I mean, some people were there because they need money for college, and some people were there because that's all that they
the-
could
It's
do.
the only way out. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Right.
they're just wired a little bit different, and that was it.
I mean, it is kind of sad. I don't know if it's sad's the right word, but when you say there's a lot of guys there that are they're just wild, they're off. Hey, what up, Jared?
Hey,
They're they're just a little off or wild, and then they go out and then they do that. They do combat and they do see the
Mhm.
explosions and deaths and all that, and then we all know how it affects their mental head of everything. It's just kind of sad that we just keep doing it, rinse and repeat, and it's like,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gotten better. I'm sure the counseling and all that's better, but I don't know. I guess
But
there's no way
still, who
around
wants
it.
to go? It's like
The
I
ones
don't
that
sign
are-
up for that.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I
it's
mean,
weird because I've got a friend right now that I know, randomly through playing fantasy football, and he's in the Marines, and he's posting every day like ready to go, like
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
That's
I'm
what we were
telling you,
just
dude,
talking
that's why
about,
I'm just
yeah.
like, man, if I was 15 years younger,
Really?
You ready to go?
yeah, if I didn't have a wife and kids, yeah, I mean,
So you
look,
so Richard,
I'm-
you still feel that way. You still feel like you're wired that way to like
yeah, I mean,
to
look, like I
defend
said,
and-
I'm not the guy that's gonna go over there and be like, I'm gonna make the difference, and I'm gonna like that's
Right.
not it. Like you just want to go, like that's I don't know what it is. So
well, probably
that's
because
why I
you've been
joined.
there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's it. Like you have to have that desire to, want to go and fight and protect and all that. So it's just.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, that's why there's so many of us. That's why there's some of us are wired to do that, and some of us are wired to not.
absolutely
Right.
like I don't have it in me, but like if I was put in a position, or like if the draft or something, crazy like that was to be, kind of like what Ukraine's
Forced upon you.
forced into, like where they're like, if you're a man below 60, you can't leave.
Yeah.
Like you're staying
Yeah.
and we're gonna get you
You'll
an
help-
AK, and you're gonna stand on
Yeah.
the street and be a checkpoint, or you're gonna do something.
Yeah,
Like-
you'll help out one way or the other.
Like
I
wouldn't back down from it, but like I don't know if I'd be running into it. It
Yeah.
takes a special breed, and
Right.
and to
I-
those people that have served, like my hat is 100 completely off to anybody that's served in any branch of the military, rather it's been, granted a majority has been in peace times, but has served in
Yeah.
any,
You still signed up.
war.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's it's just wild, man. I
Yeah,
just can't
because
imagine.
even during peacetime, like we've had thousands of people die
Oh
over
yeah.
in the Middle East.
Right.
Like even peacetime's technically not peace. You go over there
Right.
to Afghanistan or Iraq or that's you could still you're still in a war zone. You still get the
Right.
pay. So yeah.
Yep.
Um
Well,
yeah, yeah, the whole thing is sad though. Like I feel like it's unnecessary, and it's kind of interesting how people are fighting back. Like they're fighting back financially, with the whole Swift thing, and they're taking money from all these rich Russian people. Like today, they took some dude's $500 million yacht,
dang.
like right out from under him, middle of sailing.
Ukraine did, you said?
No, Germany did.
No. Oh,
The
to
world,
Russia.
NATO.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. So
yeah. I
other
mean,
countries are getting involved.
people are done. Like they're done with it. They're like,
Yeah.
look, if I mean,
You're not going to bully them.
yeah, if you're gonna do this and then you're gonna threaten nuclear war, like, I mean,
Yeah.
we're at the point now where it's like, so we're just supposed to sit back and let you do whatever you want just because you're gonna threaten nuclear war because this is what he's gonna do every time.
Every time, right?
Every
Right.
time he wants his way, he's just gonna be like, I'm just gonna blow up the world. It's like,
Yeah.
Right. I'm just gonna blow up something like a little kid.
Yeah, it is interesting. It's almost like, everybody was kind of at peace, and then he, came in, ruffled the feathers, and everybody was like, we really don't want to get involved. Like, don't do this. We don't want to get involved. But
Yeah.
then you continue to bully, and now it's like, gosh dang it. I don't want to send my people in, but we got to do something, and then you got to go do something. It
yeah,
gotta go, even if it is going and stealing somebody's yacht. I mean, yeah, I like that
I
idea.
mean, even like for me at work, like they were putting stuff out a week ago saying, sanctions that the bank was going to put on not just Russian banks, but like our clients, if they send funds to any Russian affiliated bank, is going to be declined. Like there's going to be,
Nice.
and there's going to be no accepting money from Russian banks for anybody who banks with Chase. So like, I
That's
mean,
crazy.
yeah. Apple Pay stopped working over there.
Oh, really?
Apple Pay
Yeah.
stopped working. Apple stopped selling things there altogether. And then you got
They're
Elon Musk
destroyed
throwing
users.
up. You got Elon Musk throwing up satellites to give Ukraine internet.
Yeah, I saw that.
Dude,
How
he is
badass
such a
is that?
G.
That was quick. Hey, Richard, didn't they just request him? They asked
It was
for
just
his
a
help.
tweet. It was just a tweet, dude.
Yeah.
Ukraine was like, "Hey, man, they cut off our internet. Can you help?" And he was like, "Yep, on the way."
I got you.
Dude.
And it was quick too, with the quickness.
Yeah, it was like within
that
a
was
week.
like 24 hours.
Yeah,
What
Yeah.
a boss. Like, I mean, could
Just
you
flew it over.
imagine being that guy? Like, oh, my bad. Did you need something? Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
I'll supply
Just-
I'll supply internet for your whole country. I got you,
yeah,
bro.
dude,
I got
just
to hook
buy a
up.
Tesla. It's like, that's crazy, man. Good for you, Elon.
yeah. I'm not sure what the hate is against him, other than the fact that he's a rich dude. Like, I don't know for sure what solid evidence people have that he's something that people say he is. I don't know what it is exactly that people have against the guy, but
Who, Elon?
I feel like he tries to step up. Like, I mean, is he
Yeah.
always 100% positive? Like there? No, but I mean,
yeah.
I feel like
I mean,
he tries.
Well, I mean, I think anytime you get, another billionaire with all this power and success, people are going to be critical and, question things. And I mean, that just kind of comes, but you're right. He does feel like the one billionaire that's just trying to help and not like, get all too much into politics and, and all that stuff. Like I'm thinking of Bill Gates at this point, because it's like Bill Gates all of a sudden became a doctor overnight, especially when it comes to COVID and all that stuff. It's
Right.
like, I just feel like Elon kind of knows what he does best and is sticking to it.
Well, it's like I saw an interview with J.R. Smith this week, and he was just like, talking about last season, or not last season, but the season before when they were in the bubble. and they were sitting around, and he's like, I've got LeBron James next to me. I've got Russell Westbrook next to me, John Wall's across the way, Anthony Davis is right here. He names like off, basically the top 10 of guys in it.
Yeah.
And they're like, talk, because it's during the whole, what's his name from Minneapolis that died. The guy who had
Floyd?
his knee. Yeah, George Floyd.
George Floyd.
It was during all that, and they were like, we need to demand this of the owners. And J.R. Smith, he said, he looked around and he was like, you just signed a deal for $210 million. You signed a deal for 180. You signed a deal for 210, and he just went around the room and he was like, we need to stop looking. What do we need to ask the owners for? We can make more positive change with $5 million in the hood or in lower income neighborhoods than, any of these. He was like, we used to, not bat an eye at going to the strip club and dropping 60 or 100 grand at a strip club in a night, out on a road trip.
Man, that's a lot of money.
I should be a stripper.
He was like,
chafing.
He was like, what if we reinvested that back into where we came from and the poverty stricken neighborhoods? He was like, I could have fed where I grew up, a poverty stricken area where I grew up 100 times over with the money I wasted,
when you think
buying that or having to have this brand name or what have you. He was like,
but that's what they do. But that's what but see, that's the problem of the whole thing is like, you want that money so you can buy those things. And then once you have those things, you realize those things are stupid and it just fulfills. It's no different than when I buy a pair of shoes, man. I always say it fulfills that, like, ooh, I finally bought one. I've been eyeing it for 3 months or whatever, and you finally commit to, and then it's just gone. And then it's like, well, crap, now I want another pair of shoes. And and the more money you have, the more shoes you buy, and and then it snowballs to cars and everything else. But that's I mean, when you think about how many players are in the NBA, if they all kind of get back to their cities, that would be probably be quite a bit of money.
Not that the owners should be let off the hook for the amount of money they make as well. They should get back and do stuff as well. But
I'm sure they do. But I mean, we're all trying to make money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like I don't get mad at the person's making more money than me. It's like, well, you probably made better decisions in your life, or you found your talent early and worked at it, and you're whatever. Your daddy's rich and he got you a better job. I mean, it's life. I got what I got, you got what you got, and it is what it is, so I don't know, man. We'll segue into this real quick. Did Kevin or I know Jared saw it, Kevin or Richard, did you guys watch the Kanye West documentary at all on Netflix?
Nah, I never will.
Go ahead. All I did was watch the preview. I kind of get the summary though.
Yeah. I guess whenever, I know Kanye's a little bit out there, but anytime you see someone become successful though, like, and it's literally documented. Like, that's what I found so amazed by. Like, while he's being turned down or trying to get on the Rockefeller or just trying to get known as a producer, and not only a producer, but a rapper, like, he's documenting it. Like, he's just got some dude that believed in him and is recording it at the age of 18, 19. I mean, it's just like, it just makes you think, like, is this guy just wired differently? But just to kind of sum up the whole documentary, the first episode, it was good, but I think the second episode is definitely better because it shows him, getting a song out there with Jay-Z, and then it shows him going into the studio where Pharrell was recording. And this is what he would do. Like, he would just see who was recording, go in there, hear something, and just be like, man, I was thinking about this. And then we'll just drop a verse, drop bars, drop, whatever. And just to watch these guys be like, dude, like, I knew you were a good producer, but I didn't know you had these rap skills. But I do want to say this real quick. So during his rise, like he just was about to make it big, he got in a real bad car wreck. I'm sure you guys maybe remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
Through
they
the
had
wire
to
song.
there you go. And they had to wire his mouth shut. So they are literally documenting all of this while he's in with the doctor and all this stuff. And they are sitting there working on his mouth, and he is sitting there humming the chorus to that song while he's sitting in it. Like the dude, it just showed me like this guy was he's a genius. Like he just thinks like differently. Like he's literally getting his mouth worked on, and he's writing that song like right then. I mean, he may have already had half of it done or whatever, but I don't know. I know the guy's kind of off his rocker, but you could just see his talent, and you kind of see the reaction from his peers as well. But I don't know if you took anything else from it, Jared, but it kind of impressed me, I guess.
Yeah. So the first episode, if you've ever listened to the College Dropout, the last song on that is called Last Call. And he's like, last call for alcohol. And then he like raps a little bit, but then he basically gets into this story, and it's basically the story of that first episode. So if you have 5 minutes to spare, go listen to Last Call on College Dropout,
I've heard
his first album. And he basically it follows through kind of how like he gets dropped from different record labels. They keep dicking him around, and then he finally
names names too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He absolutely
he drops names too.
He's like, and he gets dropped, and he gets finally picked up by Dame Dash and Jay-Z at Rockefeller.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, granted, I'm partial to Kanye because I followed him from the beginning. Obviously, he's kind of morphed and changed into what he is now, and it's I'm not necessarily up on the whole crazy like I like the like the complicated guy, but then he's kind of changed, obviously, with
you just don't know
some of the things that he's done now, but
you just don't know what you're gonna get with
definitely
the guy.
It's definitely interesting to watch and to see kind of the rise of someone, and just kind of it like slowly he didn't just come from nowhere.
Yeah.
He worked at it.
But imagine the first song that makes you big is H to the Izzo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
it's such a massive song for Jay-Z, and that song will be played forever.
But he also talks about like he was like I walked in there and I played them Jesus Walks. I had the song all the way done. I played them Jesus Walks, and they didn't sign me.
No one's interested.
Didn't say it was good enough.
Yeah.
And that song sold millions. How crazy is that?
God dang it. I'm watching IU.
Is IU losing?
Dude, we just tied the
time.
game, and then with 4 seconds left, they just went up by 3 with 2 seconds left. So, anyways,
that's IU.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but those record labels, though, they are so used to like so many people coming through and trying to impress them with some bars and with some whatever, a new hook from a chorus or whatever. So it's like there's always that part of you that it's like, well, I get it, they didn't like it, but yeah, like you said, when it goes on to be one of the biggest songs,
well, and just think if Kanye was to come out now, kind of like similar, you sent over the Freddie Gibbs with Joe Rogan interview, and I listened to the first like hour or so, and to think if we had the internet and the different apps that we have today,
oh yeah,
what would have Kanye been? Would he have been like kind of this freestyle? He could have put everything out. He could have been this independent, kind of built his own fan base.
I think that's what he's doing now.
What's that?
I think that's what he's trying to do.
Well, that's what he's doing now, but but obviously But, back then it was either you were signed to a label or you were underground. It was one of the two.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
We're now being underground. We suck. We are so bad. I hate IU basketball. Can
Trash.
we just end the podcast right now? I'm so sick
Trash.
of watching us lose, dude.
But it's
I
March,
really am.
man.
It's
This is
Rutgers, bro,
best
at
time.
home.
Ugh.
I quit. I'm done.
Trash.
It could be
Shut
worse.
up,
They could be
Kevin.
the Pacers.
Oh,
Yeah, the Pacers
But,
are losing to
ching.
the Orlando Magic tonight.
oh man.
And they lost to him a couple days ago. So why
Yeah,
not?
they're playing like a back-to-back. It was like 2 days in between their back-to-back. They are currently up 2 points with 5 minutes to go.
I've been trying to catch some of these Philly games with James Harden and Embiid together. That's a pretty good duo.
Yeah,
Harden's
they
been balling.
yeah.
Was
I
they
would
just
agree.
said today
Like-
that Simmons isn't playing the month of March.
I wonder
Oh,
why.
yeah.
I wonder if
Yeah, I
he's
saw
just
that.
out of shape. I wonder
Yeah,
if he's just
that's
trying
what
to
they
get
Probably.
said. Yeah,
Hey.
that's what they said was that he's so out of shape that the practices and everything aren't going well, and that he's getting sore from them.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, he's out of shape. Him and
This
Zion
is
need to
good.
go train together.
Zion's a whole nother thing. I think Zion's done.
Zion's not coming back, dude.
Oh,
Zion-
they just had a report today about he's working up to full contact, full weight, everything.
Really?
I don't think
I-
he'll see
I
him play.
think-
Even if he does come back, it won't be a whole season.
Yeah,
No,
I
he's
think
probably-
that he's gonna be one of the first rookies to not re-sign his next deal.
That's
I think
wild.
that
There's no
Hey.
way he doesn't re-sign that deal.
you
You
don't
know-
think so? I think he doesn't want to be in New Orleans.
Well, that might be the case, but he has to sign that.
Yeah.
He's the number
especially with
one
those
pick.
injuries. Well, especially with how injured he is, he better get a big contract. You know who I think is done?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant.
No, he's
I
coming back
think
tomorrow.
That's fine, but
Last
gotta
3
remember,
years he's
he-
been doing this. Yeah.
he tore his Achilles. It's
Mhm.
never good when you tear your Achilles. And now I'm not saying he's done, but he's not going to be like, if I'm Brooklyn, I'm real careful about giving him a max deal next year. Or I don't have they already given him a max deal?
No,
Because you might get 20, 30 games from him a year, and then maybe use him in the playoffs.
If he's
I-
smart, he'll move to a team like Golden. He'll go back to a team like Golden State that he doesn't have to carry. If he's smart,
Right.
Yeah,
saw-
but he still wants to be that man though.
I saw this stat yesterday, and I was impressed. Most points per game in their 19th season. Number
LeBron
one is
James.
obviously LeBron James, because I'm bringing it up.
Yeah.
Number two, Wilt Chamberlain at 14.6. Carmelo Anthony at 13.5. Obviously in the same draft class as LeBron James. 4 is John Stockton at 10.8. And 5 is Tim Duncan at 8.6.
And
What
their
is LeBron
19th year,
averaging this year?
27, 26.
29 points per game.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's insane.
So-
You will
That's-
never see this again.
I know, and no one talks about how great he is.
As soft as he is, and as a big of a, whatever you want to call him, he is, we will never see this again, probably in our lifetime.
Yeah.
how many shots
Dude, I
has he
agree.
taken tonight? I'd be interested to deep dive deep in that data. Like if
How many
He's on my
avocados?
fantasy
eating?
team, so I can tell you.
what is like
Yeah.
percentages and how many of those are free throws?
Let me tell
Well,
you.
that's true. Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. when you're
I'm just
comparing-
kidding. More or
but,
less,
like,
I'd
but-
be interested to see statistically.
36 minutes per game,
That's good.
2.7 3-pointers made, 8 rebounds, 6.3 assists, 1.6 steals, 1 block, 28.9 points.
I mean, regardless, like those
It doesn't
other
give me the shots. Hold on. I'll find it.
because I mean,
Special.
it's always hard to compare generations, but still, like, I mean, dude, you know, he's taking
That
care of his
longevity,
body.
like
It's insane.
They're
Yeah,
figuring it out, man. Like Tom Brady and him, and I mean, how even Rodgers just winning his another MVP.
Yeah.
Just when Green Bay basically thought he was done. It's like he wins back to
Right.
back MVPs.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense. Like you're just getting better. I mean, yeah, I understand that you could lose a step, but like even Dirk Nowitzki, it's like, you know, he couldn't move like he could, but he still knew how to hit the perfect fadeaway shot or
Yeah.
use a bank shot, or you know, you just get smarter and wiser, and
That's why they called Tim Duncan the fundamental, right? Big fundamental
Yes.
or whatever it was.
Big
Right,
Fundy.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. You just get back to the basics.
Yep.
Yeah.
so he's
That's crazy.
averaging that on 21.1 field goal attempts a game, making 11 of those.
Dude,
It's not bad. That's not bad.
Basically over 50%.
That's 5 a quarter. That's 5 a quarter.
Yeah, that's not bad from your star.
Yeah.
Dude, Jordan was
How
shooting-
many assists right now, Jared?
He is averaging 6.3 assists.
and how many rebounds?
He is averaging, his plus minus is -1, but that's 8 rebounds a game.
I mean, dude, it's just crazy. And no one
It
talks
is.
about him for MVP.
They're not gonna make the
He
playoffs.
wanted to.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's
Gotta
right.
make the
Yeah, that's
playoffs
the
first.
problem.
Then we'll have the
Yeah.
discussion.
That's
Yeah.
Russell
But-
Westbrook's fault, though, right?
Well, I mean, Anthony Davis.
No,
is
it's the
always hurt.
Lakers. It's the Lakers' fault.
Yeah, but who wanted Russell Westbrook?
The
I
Lakers.
don't
Why
know
didn't
if
trade
anyone
for it?
did.
Didn't-
I don't know if
LeBron?
anyone did.
LeBron
LeBron.
James wanted that.
Yes, they didn't. LeBron.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The Lakers wanted it.
Well,
But then again, LeBron was probably like, well, we need somebody. You know, like it's just not going to be me and Anthony Davis and Rondo.
Right.
yeah, but the problem
I mean-
is they let a guy like they traded away Harold, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, and then they let Alex Caruso walk. They traded the first two guys in the Russell Westbrook deal, and
Yeah, they
Kyle
didn't make some
Kuzma,
good
obviously.
And all of those
Yeah.
names you just mentioned, Jared, were names that were continually brought up during
Yeah.
their championship run.
Absolutely,
Like constantly,
Yeah.
you hear those names.
yeah. But
Yeah.
Alex Caruso,
Yeah.
before he got injured with the Bulls, was balling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You
just
can't
the
tell
def-
me that the Lakers
just the def-
couldn't use that, that second ball handler
That's right.
yeah,
you know?
or the defense,
or the
that he
defense. Yeah, exactly.
brings. Yeah. So I mean,
He brought that YMCA hustle.
Yeah.
he,
I got
he
moves,
brought
man.
that. He brought that white boy hustle. Like I'm only in this game
That's
for
what I said,
one
the
reason.
YMCA hustle. and
Oh, okay.
old
I
white
didn't
man
realize
play
Playing in
That
some
is true.
Skechers.
New Balance.
Ain't nobody playing in those Skechers.
You a real man. You playing some New Balance.
Hey, so
Yeah, right.
this Sunday night, I play in an old man's league Sunday night, and the guy that organizes our team, he's a great dude. His name's Joe, and he's probably in his low 60s, probably 59 to 62,
Dang.
somewhere in that area.
I could play in this
Right?
league.
No kidding. I bet he's a ball.
No wonder why Jared's so good. They're all 16, 17-year-olds.
We
I
didn't
wish.
know this, Jared.
I
Really? I
wish.
thought you were going with some 30s and 40-year-olds. I
No.
didn't know you. I didn't know you had to be a
Intramural-
senior citizen to be in this league.
You gotta show your
this
AARP
dude
card.
organized our team. He's old, but everybody else is like, I'm the oldest, and I'm 39. So, but anyway, he still rocks the rec specs,
Heck yeah, he does.
the high tube, like
Oh my god.
two
You're making
stripe
this
socks, and then the low cut Reebok white tennis shoes.
I got moves, man. I got moves.
I know, right?
This old man is giving you the false reality that you could take on the greatest basketball player of
Dude.
all time.
Absolutely not.
Dude, that's great.
I'm just jealous that you're playing. I need
Sunday night, brother.
do what?
Sunday night. Come on up. We're in the playoffs.
Oh, man, that'd be fun.
Playoffs.
Where do you play? Where do you play? At the Y?
The Best Choice Field House. It's at 116th and 69, right behind Target.
It's right next
How
to the
many
nursing home.
Nice.
He's got to get his teammate checked out from the.
Right.
From the it's so funny, dude. So how many players are on your team?
We have 10 that are on our team. So
Who's
we just
coaching?
rotate 5 and 5. We just
Does anybody coach?
no. I mean,
That's what
yes and
what I
no.
need to
Not
do.
like in the sense of like, I mean, we
Some
talk.
coach.
I mean, we all have experience in some degree, and so we like say things like, "Hey, I saw
Yeah, you don't-
this. We should do
Yeah, I got
this,"
you.
but nothing like,
It's
know,
not serious enough
hardcore.
to have a coach.
no.
Yeah, I feel you.
And most
Okay.
teams that we play have like max 7 or 8 guys. Max.
Right. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, and sometimes those leagues, that's how you want it because you want to play. You don't want to
Yeah.
sit out for half a half.
Well,
a
we
game or
just
whatever.
do 5 minutes on, 5 minutes off, and then the last 5 minutes of the game, if it's close, we'll throw our best 5 out there. And
Dude, I would love to do that. 5
and
minutes.
play.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I need to get into that.
You want to know? You want to know what made me feel real old? About
What?
2-3 weeks ago, the game before us, I was watching, and I'm like, I look at this dude, and he's like wearing this like uber extra schmedium like Perry Meridian jersey, and I'm like,
Oh, nice.
what the hell? Like, I mean, it was like extra schmedium, but it was like one of the newer ones. So after the game gets
Okay.
over, I'm like, hey, yo, you went to Perry? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, so did I. And just so happened that night for my jersey, because our colors for our team are blue or dark blue, I was wearing my old Perry Meridian practice jersey that flipped
Nice.
inside
Oh,
out,
wow.
was black, was dark blue and white, right? I went to
Yeah.
Perry Meridian too. And he was like, yeah, I graduated in 19. When did you graduate?
Nice.
Dude. You're like, never mind, gotta go home.
I was
That's
like,
so long ago.
yeah, a couple years before that.
Yeah.
Just a couple.
Yeah. Just a couple.
Just a couple, my guy.
God, it does suck, man. It feels old.
Yeah, I know. It is a
Yeah.
long time ago, but
I know.
I felt really
2000,
old
man.
after that.
Yeah, that'll make you feel
I mean,
old.
but he was like young and muscular, and he was like dunking in the game, so it was like whatever.
Yeah, that's funny, dude.
That's when you pull out Dale Davis and just clothesline him. Honestly, boom, old school, baby. It's
There
how
you
we
go.
play.
Hit him
We're
with the
playing
Carl
90
Malone
We're
elbow.
playing 90s ball tonight.
That's right. This is NBA Jam.
Oh, I love that game, dude.
Come see it.